Good morning and welcome to the Student Hub Live STEM Showcase from the Open University. My name's Karen Foley and I'll be presenting this showcase all about curriculum, research and how we teach science, technology, engineering and mathematics here at the Open University. Now this is a live interactive event, and if you've logged on now you should notice that you've got a chat box where you can talk to other students, and Teresa and Karen in the studio who'll be feeding your comments in to our guests throughout the day. Now you can talk about anything you want to. This is a great opportunity to meet other students, ask questions and generally enjoy yourselves throughout the day. But you don't have to stay all day. You can also watch these sessions on catch-up, so they'll be available shortly after the event and on our YouTube channel. Now you can get involved by talking to people, and you'll also see some interactive voting tools, and we'd like to know where you are, which level you're studying, how you're feeling today. So just click on the box that you'd like to submit your answer to and then put the words or select the option that applies to you, and then you can see what everyone else says also. We'll sometimes have word clouds like how are you feeling, and you need 3 things in those boxes. So if you can't think of 3, that's fine, just put a full stop, otherwise your results won't submit. We've got a brilliant programme lined up for you today. We're going to be covering all sorts of fabulous things, and what's really special about this event is that we've got some remote links with our reporter Eleni Woods, who's going to be showing you various things around campus and also giving a tour of some of the laboratories. So I'm really looking forward to that. But let me introduce you to our team on the hot desk at the moment who are going to be talking to you and feeding your comments in. So Teresa and Karen, how is everyone out there and how are you?
Very good, very good. Everyone seems very happy. We've got lots of students online, which is fantastic. So really buzzy at the moment, which is great.
Yeah, some of them have even taken the day off work today to join us, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, welcome everybody to this session, and thank you, Teresa and Karen. So as I say, you can ask any questions. If we don't know the answer now, we will get back to you, so please do ask. Now, in our first session, I'm joined by Linda Cook and Lucia Rapinotti from the Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics Department. We're going to talk a little bit broadly about what it's like to be a STEM student and sort of foreground some of the event that we're talking about today. So firstly, what is it like being an OU STEM student, and why is it different from being a STEM student elsewhere?
Well, firstly, we'll make you really welcome in the STEM faculty. And you'll have, as a distance learner, you'll have your module materials, and they could be delivered through various different options depending on what disciplines. So STEM is very large, so whether you're doing sort of the science end of it, whether you're doing the mathematics end of it. But you'll be supported throughout your studies. You'll be directed to what particular aspects of your module to engage with. And of course, the beauty about STEM is that you're going to be doing some sort of practical activity in some way.
We'll be talking a lot about how we do the practical activities, because we've got some incredibly exciting and award-winning and very innovative ways of allowing our students to do practical science. Yes. Amongst technology, engineering and mathematics.
Yeah, so for example, also I'm a biologist and I've worked on a human biology module, so I'll be talking later about that, and then as part of the Open STEM Labs. So there's that. And of course also we'll make you feel welcome as part of a community. So we have some fantastic resources that you can engage with, and you can engage with now before lots of our modules start in October. So you can have sort of tasters, if you like, of materials to see what STEM modules are like.
Now, students are supported, as you've mentioned, and associate lecturers or tutors are a key part of that.
They are indeed, and in fact both Lucia and myself have been associate lecturers or tutors, and they really are there for academic guidance of your journey through your STEM studies. So they will be there if there's anything that you're unsure of, then your tutor is academically, that your tutor is the person to get in touch with. So they'll be an expert within their field, they'll be there to mark your assignments, they'll be there to give you support online or face-to-face tutorials depending on what STEM programme you're following.
And we've also got this student support team, and we're going to be connecting to them up in Manchester a bit later today and meeting some of the team, which I'm really looking forward to. What's so important about supporting students, and why does that matter?
Well, for us, our students, they come with such a rich diversity of their backgrounds. Some students may not have studied for many years. They also, many of them are part-time, the majority of them are part-time, so they have other commitments. So it's really important that we have student support to be able to help them. help our students get through and engage and get the most out of our excellent curriculum and enjoy STEM, the STEM topics that they're studying. So my other role is as faculty lead for the science student support team. So quite often I'm up in Manchester, where you'll be filming later on today. And I work very closely with other faculty leads within STEM and within academics down here and within in our regional tutors as well. So yeah, it's really important. So if a student's got anything about sort of a loan query or something like that, then they can go to their student support team, and they work Monday to Friday 8 till 8 and Saturdays 9 till 5 as well.
Brilliant. Thank you, Linda. Now, Lucia, amongst your various roles, you are a central academic, a module team chair, associate dean and an OU student. So you must know an awful lot about what it's like to be a STEM student.
Correct, yes. Well, I know a lot about lots of things for the Open University, which is a fantastic place to be, really, because you have that opportunity to have so many different roles. I'm a student. I've been a student for 6 years now, and I work I study on a cross-disciplinary degree, so it's half a STEM, it's half in the Faculty of FAS, it's in economics. It's a fantastic combination of subjects. The interdisciplinary is really, really interesting. From a STEM perspective, I think what is exciting is that you can be a scientist or a STEM profession in your own home because of the technology and the innovation that we bring in our curriculum, and that's a very, very important part of being a STEM student.
Yeah, because STEM is so interesting, and so many students on open programmes or open degrees will choose some of the subjects because they are so interesting.
Absolutely. About 25% of our students are actually open students, so that's amazing. And also we've actually introduced a combined STEM, which is, if you wish, a specialization of the open program for people who just want to do STEM subject. So it's fantastic because, as well as doing our more traditional degrees, you can really tailor the STEM degree to your needs, whether you want to retrain in a different STEM subjects or you're just coming from completely different discipline and you want to start in STEM, you can really, really design your own degree. It's extremely flexible, and I think importantly these days you can also get a second loan on a degree because our STEM degrees allow you to do that, which is a real advantage.
Now, when students are studying across different faculties, for example, they might notice differences when coming to STEM. I certainly, I mean, I teach on a number of different faculties, and I notice a difference within STEM, and some of that is that a lot of the materials are online, they're very cleverly designed, there's lots of animations, apps, augmented reality, really using and enhancing technology to teach in a very, very different way. So I wonder if we can talk about how we teach and what sort of material students might expect, and also to talk about the virtual learning environment and how that really is something unique.
Well, in STEM, what you'll say, you'll be directed towards, guided towards your studies with the module website, but that might then send you on to engage with different activities. So it may be a practical activity where you have to go and do a study on bird predation, if you're doing one of our second level biology courses, or indeed it might be another aspect where you're engaging with the open STEM, and doing some robotics activity as well. So there's a huge range of different practical activities. Some of our modules have hardback books, if you like, or books. Others are all delivered on screen. So there's a variety, but it depends on which area within STEM.
Brilliant. Well, we've got a lot of STEM students out there. Let's go and give them a shout out and see how everyone is at our hot desk. Teresa and Karen.
We've got so many students coming in, this is fantastic, and such a diverse range of subjects. So we've got Joanne Lewis, who's doing biology, Kay Roberts on U116, which is great, and David Wright, who's studying for a maths degree and just completed MU123 and about to do MST 124.
Someone else has just come in who's completing U101, which is the level 1 design module, a qualification which is very close to my heart, having worked on the production of U101. So yeah, as Teresa said, there's a real diversity of students coming in this morning.
Brilliant, excellent. And thank you for saying hello to everybody and engaging with the chat. As we say, if you're just joining us, anything goes in the chat. Ask questions, get to know other students and have a good time. Okay, so we talked a little bit about how we deliver the tuition and things. Practical science is something that we're going to touch on a lot later. We're going to cover that in a variety of ways. We're going to show people some of the digital microscopes, some of the telescopes even that people can log into, and how we can do things. We're also going to be doing lab tours later on in the day. So broadly, what would you say is really amazing and innovative about the way that we do practical STEM?
Well, I think we've got a huge range of different innovative opportunities for students to engage with. So, you know, it could be a home experiment that Lucia mentioned. It could be on a field course if they're doing environmental sort of studies, or indeed it might be engaging with a piece of software that's been bespoke developed for their module. So it really is unique.
Brilliant. Okay, and we've been talking about the variety. We can see students coming from design, from various sorts of ranges, and the curriculum is really, really growing at the moment. How do students find out about that, and what do they have to look forward to in terms of curriculum?
Okay, we have obviously a very broad range of subjects. STEM is a very big faculty. We have 6 schools, and we provide really curriculum across all the main subjects you could expect, from natural science, mathematics, computing, technology. Really, we have over 150 modules to choose from, and 45 main qualifications. It's a broad choice. Obviously, our websites direct the students to what we do now, but things that perhaps our students today might be interesting to know is that there are some really exciting new opportunities for them. We just launched a new electronics pathway within engineering. We are just about to launch mechanical engineering, so we're expanding engineering. Wow. We have just out of the press approved a new data science module, qualification. That's really exciting. It's very topical, bring together mathematics with computing, with statistics, and there are plenty of jobs out there, so it's a really good degree to take. And many, many more. I mean, what we do, we continuously look at what we have, how we can improve it. We look at the market, we look at what our students tell us, our employers tell us, and we keep innovate. And that, so you really need to keep an eye on what we do. We have a prospectus, of course. It tells everybody what's on now, what the choices are, and what's coming next. But really, a curriculum is something live, if you want. It has a life cycle, and we always try to improve it and make it more relevant for our students.
And how would students find out about that, and who might they want to talk to?
Okay, maybe Linda can...
Well, they can contact the student support team.
Mm-hmm.
So we work very closely with them, and they're aware that, and they can give some advice about what modules are like, to give them a flavour. We have resources, as I say, so if it's a student's already registered, they can get onto the study website, and that'll tell them a load of information about their resources and what it's like to study. And obviously there are other chat opportunities with fellow students that they can find out about too.
Brilliant, excellent. And I also like the reviews of what students say about courses, because they're really helpful, actually, sort of seeing how it all works and what the assessment's like. But we don't just do the undergraduate things. I mean, we've got labs of PhD students here, there's apprenticeships, there's so much that happens beyond the curriculum. So can you tell us a little bit about what students might look forward to in the future, and again, where we're going with that?
Yes, so most students probably know about our bachelor and master degrees, because they're the more traditional. But of course there are other things. We have smaller qualifications. So if a student who wants to try something out, are quite uncertain and don't want to commit to such a big, long degree for such a long period of time, they can take our certificates. They can also just take tests of our curriculum by going on our Open Learn platform and really trying things out in short courses. Some are free, some are what we call badge open courses, which they can learn something for free and perhaps get a certificate that might be useful for their career or for whichever other aim they might have. So that's a sort of portfolio we have. But then we shouldn't forget that, if a student is currently in employment, there are these opportunities through degree apprenticeships, so they can actually ask their employer whether they have a relationship with us, and if they do, they can study as they are employed and get their degree without, obviously, the financial penalty of having to pay for it. This is very much a growing area for all our professions around STEM. And also we have education at all levels. So once a student has done their masters, for instance, they want to do something more challenging, we shouldn't forget we have research degrees, we have part-time research degrees, which allow our students, whether they are in employment or not, to pursue their research aspiration. They can work on a problem of their choice. They can have the excitement of contributing to knowledge, but at the same time perhaps contribute to their profession. We shouldn't forget that high-level skills of that type are in demand in the industry, because they are essentially the foundation of innovation, and there is much demand for STEM high-level skills. So doing a research degree is another opportunity, and we offer both master's level and doctoral level. Again, everything can be done in steps, so that all students can reach the learning goals regardless where they start from.
And everyone in the chat is talking about how much they've enjoyed their courses that they've been on, and they're sharing tips and ideas, which is wonderful to see. I know for some students now, while they're waiting for their results, they think, oh, the summer, which seems very, very long ahead before we start again, often, but not always, around September, October time, can feel like a long time away from studying, and we sometimes do miss that. But I wonder if you can tell us about informal learning and what students might want to do if, for example, they think, oh, let me go and have a look at Open Learn and see what's there to keep me amused over the summer.
Absolutely, there is a broad catalogue of short modules, the badge open learning module I've just mentioned, and also all our MOOCs on Future Learn. There's so much out there. I mean, it's difficult to keep track of everything, because we continuously produce new materials for our students. And on Future Learn, they also have access through our platform to what other universities are doing. It's a huge international network, which is really growing. So they really can join hundreds of thousands of learners that they keep occupied and interested through our informal learning. Absolutely a great resource to go there. There's a bit of everything. There are things which are specific on topics, as you expect, but also lots of skills development. So for people in employment, they can learn how they can improve the way they present themselves, or they do their job, or their career prospects. So that's really a wealth of information, and to keep you very much entertained throughout the summer.
Well, yeah, everyone's being converted to the astronomy informal learning. I wonder if Dave Rothery is talking about his MOOCs, very popular course. And Gail says that she loved U101 so much she just didn't want it to end. But do check out on Open Learn and Future Learn, there are a whole range of things. And what's really nice about them is that you can see the time that you want to spend on them. So often they're broken down into 12, 24, whatever hour chunks. So you can manage your time and get something that's achievable and exciting for you as well. So Linda, you're coming back later. What are you going to be doing later?
I'm going to be talking about cardiovascular physiology, or an application that we use to help students understand cardiovascular physiology as part of our second level module, Human Biology.
Brilliant. So I'm looking forward to that, and we've got plenty of other exciting things lined up in store for you today. Lucia, I wonder if we might end with some advice that you would give as an OU student to other OU students in the summer now. If they're waiting for their results, or they're keeping going if they're on a February presentation, what advice would you give to students right now when the weather's lovely and motivation can sometimes be high and sometimes low?
Well, studying is always such a pleasure, and I would say that as an academic, of course, but I study because for my own entertainment, and I think you always get something from learning. So, you don't have to get bored during the summer. Learning can help you going through. But also, with technology and what we provide our students, you can enjoy, the outdoor with your tablet and study while you're doing all sorts of other activities. You don't have to be stuck in your room on your computer. So, you can be very much part of
yes, I've seen on the Facebook page so many students putting their lovely study areas outside with a picnic table, and of course with the clear skies and warm nights. It's perfect if you want to try some astronomy.
Absolutely. Some of my fellow students, just before the exam, we were revising, and as you do, we are on Facebook just exchanging things. And it was a lovely one. One of my fellow students had a young baby, so she was essentially studying while the baby was sleeping in the cot in the garden in the sunshine. And you share the sort of experiences with your students, and it's really very nice to be part of that community.
Brilliant. Well, thank you both so much for coming and giving us a wonderful introduction, and we will see you later. Linda and Lucia, we'll see you at the end for some of your highlights of the day. So thank you everyone for chatting. Josie Fraser, the Executive Dean, couldn't be here today, but she has recorded a video which we're going to watch next. So I hope that you enjoy that video, and then we'll be back to talk about the School of Physical Sciences. So I'll see you shortly after this next video.